thousands of U.S. aid employees about to lose their jobs and imminently. This as Democratic and Republican officials tonight join forces, aggressively defending USAID. 5 former USAID leaders speaking out against President Trump's plans to dismantle the agency. Moments ago, calling on Congress to, quote, swiftly protect the agency. Collectively saying in a statement first obtained here on CNN, that to weaken and even destroy the agency is the benefit of neither political party and the detriment of all Americans. While we don't agree on all issues, we wholeheartedly agree that USAID and America's foreign assistance programs are vital to our interests, which is important. It's obviously bipartisan in that group. Trump vowing to gut the agency, though, since taking office. The first thing they really took aim at, he has called its leaders radical left lunatics.
They went totally crazy what they were doing, and the money they were giving to people that shouldn't be getting it and to agencies and others that shouldn't be getting it. Was a shame. So they're tremendous fraud. I love the concept of it. Yeah, sure. I love the concept, but they turn out to be radical left lunatics.
But here's where it gets really interesting, and that is Marco Rubio, a very serious Secretary of State, who is also criticizing USAID tonight and just took it over as part of this. They're trying to get rid of it, so they threw it in with the State Department. That he had previously, though, praised the organization repeatedly, not just once, but repeatedly, something he clearly believed. And our K-File has the tape. So K-File's Andrew Kaczynski joins me now. So what did you find?
Yeah, that's right. Now, Rubio spent years praising both foreign aid and USAID as a vital part of promoting American interest and American foreign policy. In fact, he's now basically echoing some of the attacks that he once dismissed. We found time and again across his 14-year Senate career that he was constantly praising and defending foreign aid. Let's listen to just a few of what he said over the years.
Okay.
We don't have to give foreign aid. We do so because it furthers our national interest. That's why we give foreign aid. Now, obviously, there's a component to foreign aid that's humanitarian in scope, and that's important too. I promise you it's going to be a lot harder to recruit someone to anti-Americanism, anti-American terrorism, if the United States of America was the reason why they're even alive today. Anybody who tells you that we can slash foreign aid and that will bring us to balance is lying to you. Foreign aid is less than 1% of our budget. It's just not true.
Now, those comments paint a pretty clear picture, right? He said foreign aid was critical to U.S. foreign policy. Now he's trying to dismantle the agency behind it, but that's really not all that we found. We also found that in 2022, he sent a letter to Joe Biden in which he actually suggested they increase the USAID budget. He said that it was necessary to counter Chinese Communist Party influence. China has basically their own version of USAID. And I want to read a little bit of what he wrote in that letter to Biden that we uncovered. He said, quote, "We urge you to use your fiscal year 2023 budget request for the Defense Department, Department of State, and U.S. Agency for International Development to send a clear message that the United States has a comprehensive strategy to counter the Chinese Communist Party's expanding global influence and the increasing threat that it poses to U.S. Security interests and those of our allies and partners."
I mean, well, and he is a deeply serious Secretary of State. I mean, Belt and Road Initiative by China has been something that they've invested in to counter.
And we found actually
USAID,
letters in which he, or press releases on his website where he specifically mentioned that in why we need USAID.
Right. So he makes all these points. He makes all these very important points. But he actually, from your reporting, then it wasn't even just foreign aid overall. And making the point it's 1%, less than 1% of the budget. And here's why it's important. It was individual programs.
Yeah, and look, we went through his entire website, or what we could find on his website across his Senate career from 2011 to 2025. And what we found was time and again, him singling out various different programs from USAID as vital parts of basically promoting American foreign policy. We found dozens of these. And I want people to look at just a few of them right here that include him praising programs combating tuberculosis in developing nations, supporting maternal and child health programs, election support in Burma, Mexico, Latin America, advancing women's global economic empowerment. And this is just a few. We found dozens and dozens of examples of him doing this. Now, we reached out to the State Department. We asked, how are you going to square all of this was what he's saying today, and we didn't hear back from them.
Right. Well, I mean, it's clear what he said in the past is what he's meant. He was very forceful and passionate about delivering it. All right, Andrew, thank you very much.
11:59 tonight. That is a deadline for federal employees to accept President Trump's offer of paid leave and resignation or face possible termination. As of this morning, sources say 40,000 workers have opted to take the deal, agreeing to enter what they are calling the Deferred Resignation Program. CNN's Elena Train tracking this one. Back with us. What is expected to happen today with all this? What are you hearing from the White House?
Well, look, this was a very swift deadline for these federal workers to decide whether or not they want to opt into this program. Some people have referred to them as buyouts, but really it's allowing them to voluntarily place themselves on paid administrative leave through September. It means they will get paid and they will continue to receive benefits even while not working. At least that is how this offer has been framed to them. And as you mentioned, Kate, I've learned now from 2 administration officials that at least 40,000 federal workers have opted in to this deferred resignation program. One of the officials tells me that they expect the number to grow significantly before tonight's 11:59 p.m. deadline. Now, we also know that the government has really said their goal is to have around 100,000 people accept this offer. All to say, though, there's a couple concerns around this. One is that unions are questioning the legality of this. They're also questioning whether or not this is actually something the Trump administration and the White House can promise people, especially when you consider, of course, that we haven't funded the government beyond the end of March. So questions there about whether or not these people will actually get paid. I've talked to some federal workers who are concerned about that as well. And then the other thing is that we know as well that after that deadline tonight, they are expected, the Trump administration, to begin widespread sweeping layoffs for those who haven't accepted this. So people who do not opt into this program, it doesn't mean that their jobs are necessarily safe, Kate.
Yeah. Elena, thank you very much.